Hi, my name is Adrienne Irizarry. I am a certified peristeam hydrotherapist, sound healer, and Eastern medicine practitioner. Today we're going to talk about cysts and fibroids. They affect a vast majority of us. There are so many women that suffer, particularly with cysts. A lot of time when we think about cysts, we think about being doubled over with pain when one ruptures and needing to go to the emergency room because the pain is so extreme you're not exactly sure if you should be concerned about something more serious. A lot of times when we go to the emergency room for a ruptured cyst, there isn't a lot that they can do for us. And the frustrating part is, unless you look at it from an Eastern medicine perspective, there really isn't a lot that can be done for prevention either. So let's talk about an Eastern medicine viewpoint on cysts, why they happen, and what you can do about them. So cysts and fibroids actually come from the same underlying catalyst. Let's call it a catalyst. So if any of you are familiar with April in New England, you will know what I'm talking about. For those of you that are not familiar, let me paint you the picture. So first thing in the morning in April, if you take your dog outside to go to the bathroom, you're going to want to go outside in boots because the grass is damp, the ground is muddy and squishy, and you will ruin your shoes if you wear your work shoes outside to take your dog out before you go to work. Then let's fast forward later in the afternoon. You come home 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. The sun's been out all day. The ground is dry. The grass is dry. And you can wear the same shoes you wore to work when you take the dog out to the bathroom and not risk ruining your favorite shoes. So I give this as an illustration because dampness in the body works that way. If there's not enough circulation, and when I say circulation, I'm not thinking about it just from an from a Western standpoint. I'm thinking about it from an Eastern standpoint, where we're talking about chi, so energy, as well as blood, the substance circulating in your body. So when I talk about circulation, that's the perspective that I'm talking about it from. So if there's not enough circulation in the body, there's not enough heat. Without enough heat, you can't dry up all the rain. No pun intended. So dampness is an accumulation of moisture in your body because there isn't enough circulation to keep the fluid moving. And so it starts to pool in different places. Unfortunately, for a vast majority of women, if you are starting to see signs of dampness, and there's lots of other signs that I could go into, but one of the ways it shows up are cysts and fibroids. So cysts is like a pocket of fluid that is accumulating. And unfortunately, when we're talking about ovarian cysts, then they rupture, and that can cause a lot of pain. When we're talking about fibroids, fibroids are hardened phlegm. So think about that dampness having a chance to sit over a prolonged period of time. It congeals and it becomes a more solid mass. So this is the way that Eastern medicine looks at fibroids. Now, if you have either of these things, these are not permanent conditions from an Eastern standpoint. So Eastern practitioners look at their role in the equation as the gardener. So if something is not growing properly or the plant is not thriving, your job is to figure out what is needed in order to create better harmony and balance in the plant so that the plant can thrive. So when we're talking about dampness, we need to speed up circulation and support the body with the right nutrients. When I say nutrients, I'm talking about herbal properties, diet, lifestyle. So, it's a multifaceted way of thinking about nutrients. But support for the body in order for dampness to not be able to accumulate so that there is enough heat or sunshine, if we're thinking about my analogy, in order to dry up all the rain. So Now let's fast forward to what I do. So I'm a peristeam hydrotherapist, which is a fancy way of saying that I use herbs and steam in order to restore harmony in people's bodies. So a lot of people know pelvic steaming as yoni steaming or vaginal steaming. Some will refer to it as perineal steaming. I tend to use pelvic steaming because it's more inclusive, but whatever you call it, pelvic steaming is an amazing tool to use in this particular situation. It helps to increase the circulation of blood and chi, and it helps to dispel dampness and dry up all the rain and help to restore harmony in your body. The herbs that are used in your steaming blend are also a key part of the equation. They can also help to drain dampness and support the system so that it's nourished in the right ways. So working with a certified peristeam hydrotherapist helps you to achieve your goals, whether you have a more hardened mass like a fibroid or something a little quicker to deal with like a cyst. Both of these things can be solved using pelvic steaming as a tool or an alternative therapy. If you are interested in more information about using pelvic steaming for cysts or fibroids, I love questions and I totally welcome them. So feel free to reach out to me at Adrienne@moonessence.life. Through my website, or if you want to follow me on Instagram or Facebook, my handle is moonessenceme.